again, we're out here at the machine, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to load our material. So I found some 16 gauge stainless steel. We're going to put it over here on the machine, and we're going to clamp it down. And clamping is very important. That's why we designed the job shop grade set the way that we have. So it's very important that your material is held securely in place while you're cutting with the water jet. There's some turbulence that is put off in the tank itself when the material is cutting. So we're just going to put some clamps down here. I'm going to make sure I put one on each side of the material so that it's secure. Basically, the hook at the bottom of the clamp comes down underneath the slats of the grate itself, and you just hook it on, it catches, and then you can use a drill to pull it down tight to the material. I'm just going to give it a little wiggle, make sure it's pretty taut all the way around. And I'm actually going to cut the piece right over here in this corner. So we're back up at the machine, and we've got our trusty USB stick. We're going to go ahead and plug it in the USB port. And we need to load our program into the controller. To do that, we're going to press load. We're going to press floppy USB. And I'm going to find the program in here that we called WARJET logo. So to do that, I'm going to go into my keyboard and just start typing WARJET, and it's going to find different programs that we have that start with Ward. So here I found the WARJET logo 6.5, which is the program that we just made. I can press the show picture button to make sure that is the right program that we want to cut. So that picture agrees with what I'm wanting to cut. I'm going to say OK. Going to download it to the controller. OK again. I'm going to go back to the main menu. We're going to hit run. And again, I'm going to use the keyboard to find the file that we're looking for. So here we are again with the different programs. And I'm going to scroll down until I find the WARJET logo 6.5. So again, there's a picture there reassuring that we have the right program. I'm going to select OK. Just a few settings that we need to have set right now to get this part cut. We need to have our cut mode into manual cutting. And before I hit OK and enter into the next screen from here, we need to set our 0 position, because once I hit OK, it's going to automatically assign wherever the cutting head is to the 0, 0 position relative to the part. So let's go ahead and set the 0. To do that, I'm going to switch over to my pendant mode. So I'm going to turn the pendant on, but with the switch on the controller, and we're going to walk over here and we're going to be able to move the cutting head around. So it's pretty easy, just using the directional arrows on the pendant. We can go in the X direction, the Y direction, and the Z direction. I'm going to get the head somewhat close to the material right now manually, but then right before we're ready to go, I'm going to turn my height sensor on so that it actually senses that it's within a 1/16 and an 1/8 of an inch from the material. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it to the corner of the plate. Make sure I stay clear of any clamps that might get in the way. From my job report, I know that the part's about 5 inches wide by maybe about 4 inches tall. So I'm just going to make sure that I have enough room around the material for that, which I do. When I programmed it, you'll remember that the 0 position was in the lower right-hand corner, and you'll see that graphically on the screen as well, that the start of the program is going to come out of the right-hand corner, and it's going to go and cut the part. So I'm pretty happy with the 0 position I have. I'm going to go ahead back over to the controller. I'm going to get out of my pendant mode because I'm done with that for now. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to hit OK on the screen because we have our 0 position set. So that's saying, OK, I'm ready to go. I'm going to turn my water to head number 2 to auto, my abrasive to head number 2 to auto. That's going to read the code that the program spits out to turn on and off when it's appropriate. And then I'm also going to turn the height sensor to auto. When I do that, you'll be able to see that the height sensor comes down and finds its position relative to the material. So I'm going to leave the height sensor set to auto so that it continues to follow the material through the program. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the water on to the cutting head, and we'll be able to press go. Here we are at the pump, and I'm just back here. I'm basically going to turn it on, but I can also refer to the job report that we printed, and it's going to tell me that we want to be operating at 55,000 PSI, and we're running a 50 horsepower pump. So basically, just turn the pump on quickly. We're going to flip the switch to on, which turns the power on to the machine. And I'm going to hit the controls on button to provide power. And we'll come right back to this and we'll turn the pump up to pressure, but first we're going to put the bulk, or pressurize the bulk feed hopper. Now we're over here at the bulk feed hopper. Basically, to pressurize the hopper, what we need to do is turn the air on to the unit. So I'm going to open the air valve. We need to make sure the release valve is closed so that the air is running into the hopper. So as the air is flowing in, we need to pull this ball, which makes a seal with the metal itself, and the pressure starts to stay inside the bulk feed hopper. You can measure what your pressure in the hopper is at the pressure gauge, which is right here on the front. We're going to be operating at somewhere between 40 to 42 PSI. This may vary based on where you have your bulk feed hopper located relative to your machine and how far that abrasive has to travel. So we're back at the pump, and all we have to do is turn it on. So basically you just push the pump on button. It's going to kick itself up, and you'll see that we're set in high pressure mode right now, which is where we want to be. And we're almost ready to cut, so we'll go back around front and get set up. We've got the pump on, the water's to the cutting head. I'm going to check the high pressure gauge and make sure that we're operating at the pressure that we're supposed to. So I can see that we're operating, the needle's at just shy of 60,000 PSI. Chances are we're going to lose a little bit of that pressure during operation. That's normal. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit go. Let's see what we have. There we have it, our water jet cut part out of 16 gauge stainless steel. Last thing we're going to want to do is make sure we go back and shut the pump off. Thanks for watching.